Okay, today we're going to start with a brand new mold, fresh out of the package. And when they come out fresh out of the package, the first thing you want to do is you want to take some Vaseline and you want to coat the silicone mold with the Vaseline. You want to work it in generously. You want to apply it in all the little crevices, push it in, put it on nice and heavy, let the Vaseline set up for an hour, hour and a half, and the Vaseline will actually soak into the silicone. The silicone actually is porous enough to soak in the Vaseline, and you're going to create a barrier between your baldies, your super baldies that you're going to put. It's a plastic, real thin plastic layer that you put on here before you mix up your Plat Seal Gel 10 for your silicone. Okay, now actually I've already prepped this. This is Zombie Bite. This Zombie Bite is from Stuart Bray Flat Molds, and I have purchased this through Biddy Mold Supply, and they are local here in Texas. And most all my materials I have with me, that's where I purchase my stuff, is from Biddy Mold Supply. Now this mold has been prepped with the Vaseline. It's just a release agent. And then before you use any of your super baldies, you also want to hit it with some of this Ultra 4 epoxy paraffin. And you want to apply that generously. Turn the mold a couple of different directions. And that's going to need to evaporate, so that can be ready probably in 30 minutes or so to start putting on your baldy. Actually, I have another one here that's prepared. This is also another flat mold from Stuart Bray. This is called the Disease 2 mold. Has different diseases, bites, or not bites, but just bumps and stuff on it. And I've already created my layer of super baldies plastic cap with this. And when you're using the plastic cap, you're going to use 99% alcohol, and you're going to mix it a 3-part alcohol to 1 part of the super baldies. And typically what I use is a little measuring cup of some type that has markings on the side, 5mm, 10mm, and I'm going to go ahead and squeeze into this cup 5mm, and if I'm going to do a 3-to-1, then that would be 3 times 5 would be 15. And on the side of this cup right there is a 15 milliliters. And it's not a direct science. If we get somewhere close, take my alcohol, pour into the container, take a little mixing stick, mix up thoroughly. And what's going to happen is when we begin to apply this with a brush to get a nice layer on your mold. And if you look right here, you'll see that I've already created some of the plastic. On this one here, you'll see me peel up some of the plastic right there. And so that's what's going to stop silicone from sticking to itself. I just keep me a nice little mason jar. Actually has some pre-mixed Plat Seal in it. Take my brush, and since what's already in my jar is the same ratio of 3-to-1, then mixing it together should be about the same ratio. So you take your brush and apply. It's a little challenging with this being deep holes. You want it to kind of run out of the holes. You want to fill them up like a little swimming pool. I'll set this off to the side, let that one dry. And then I'm going to take my zombie bite and go ahead and apply my brush on layer of Baldies, getting down into these, to the bite area. Now you can also airbrush Baldies with an airbrush. If you do, you want to make your ratio of mixture a 4:1, maybe even a little bit thinner, 5:1. You want to make sure that it's thin enough to go through the airbrush. And you can airbrush the Baldies also to get your plastic protective layer. So that probably takes about 30 minutes to set up. Alright, we have finished putting on our plastic Baldies cap, our barrier, onto our mold. And now we are going to mix up some gel tin. It's Plat Seal gel, parts A and B. And you can also refer back to a makeup video that I did to see mixing it. But we'll do a real quick one. This is equal amounts of A and B, and that's how you mix it up. You can use a scale, or you can use a cup that has a measuring marks on it, and that's basically what I use for this. And you'll need one big cup to put it into a container. And so you have part A, and now we're going to mix in B, and this has about a 8-minute working time and a very small amount of makeup to give it some color, and we're going to mix thoroughly. You do not have to be in a big hurry, but you just want to make sure you do have it mixed thoroughly. Like I said, you have an 8-minute or so work time, and we're going to then pour onto the mold, and we want to get all that silicone we can get. You want to press down fairly hard to get it all into the mold. Then I'll come back with any type of a scraper, plastic or steel, and we're going to want to make sure that it's wider than the surface that we're going to be. And you want to press down firm, because you want to separate, you want to get all the silicone off of the surface, because all you want left on there is the plastic cap seal. That's what's important. So you may want to scrape it off in a couple different directions. Try not to press down too hard to pull the plastic cap seal off of your mold. Now, to make sure that you have removed all of the silicone, you want to just kind of hold it to an angle and let the light reflect across, and you should be able to see the clear edges. If you notice, the color of the silicone and the color of the mold are two different colors. That's what you want, because here is the plastic seal and there is the silicone. And when you apply this to your actor or actress to get a nice smooth transition to the skin, you're going to use the 99% alcohol, and that's what's going to cut away the plastic cap. Now, this is going to take probably 30 to 40 minutes to cure and set up. Now, we can speed up the process with a blow dryer. Once it's completely dry, you apply another 2 to 3 layers of the plastic cap. And then, once you have that plastic cap on there, you come back with your baby powder, and you sprinkle baby powder on the top of it, and then you lift your corner and you put your powder underneath to remove your prosthetic from the mold. Okay, earlier we had our Baldies, our cap plastic, And I was showing you on this zombie bite flat mold how to apply it, and all Baldies does is a plastic layer between the silicone and your silicone mold. And I'm going to go ahead and just take this off, and you can see that it's just plastic that's created, and that's why you have to put 2 or 3 layers on this, because if you hold this up and look, you can see where there's small holes in it. And so seal between the silicone that you're putting onto your silicone mold, because if you don't do that, the result is going to be very, very bad. You will not like that result. Okay, now the silicone has cured. It is now dry, and if you look very closely, you see that we still have the color of the mold, and then we have the color of the silicone, and we still have our barrier, our plastic barrier of bald cap plastic. So now I'm going to apply 2 or 3 coats to the back side, and we're going to speed up the process of drying with a blow dryer. Okay, we have finished putting the Super Baldies bald cap plastic. We've put 3 layers onto the back of the mold, and now we're going to go through the removal process. Baby powder. You want to be generous with this, because you do not want your molds or your prosthetic sticking to itself. So we just get us a nice bed of powder onto the back of our mold. Put a little bit into your surrounding areas. So we're going to lift up the back edge of the plastic. We're going to find us a corner. Try to be very careful. Lots of powder, and that's what will stop from sticking to itself. And when you're ready to store, you want to store in a nice dry flat area. You probably don't want to stack anything on top of it. And these will make some very nice disease effect prosthetics. And in another video, I will show you how to apply and paint your disease prosthetics. Cut.